Hello everyone, welcome to the last day of ReactJS beginner level workshop. So today we're going to create an application with the concept that whatever we have learned before itself. Okay, just wait for 1 or 2 minutes to all the students to get joined. Okay, seamlessly we have discussed about what is props, what is states, how to render props, how to render states, and how to work with props, what all are the JSX syntax that we need to follow, and what all are the things that we need to notice, event handlers, everything that we whatever the basics of React JS will be with that we have covered it out. Right now we're going to discuss about one more extra thing, that is what is lifecycle components in classes, and then we're going to create a project by using class based component. After that we have a time that we're going to discuss about the function based component, and we're going to see about what is hooks, and how hooks can control states in function based components. That's what we're going to discuss for this entire today. So if you are joined the live, just tell it in the chat box you are in. Okay, and same the procedure is going to be like, if you fill the attendance form, you will get, if you already filled all the 4 days of attendance form, you will get notified, and you will get an participation certificate for attending this 4 days of workshop. Okay, you will receive it first thing. And second one, that's what you need to do it, and you will get notified in LinkedIn by Nabi to Biswasa. Okay, so that's what it is. If you came here, just if you are in, if you join the live, tell it in the chat box, join like something like that. Just tell it your name, and I can able to just, we will get started with that. Okay. We will start to create an application, what is lifecycle components and everything. We will go and start it. Okay. Make sure just give a chat hi in the chat box. Let us continue the session. Okay. Hi. Okay, so we can get started with our session. Hello all. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what we will do first, we will go for the folder that we're going to create an application, and this is the folder that we're going to work with, not this one, it's folder 3. Okay, so this is a folder that we're going to work with. So I just going to open it with Visual Studio Code, close it down this one, and here, okay, close, and then close it down. Okay, so let's see what all are inside this file and delete everything whatever. So we need app.js, let me keep this one, and in components there is nothing, a folder is there and nothing is there. And in app.js css, some css, default css will be there. I just going to remove the default css and I just save it like this. Okay, and the component is nothing there, and let me remove this one in app.js. Okay, I'm just going to remove everything. Okay, so this is what the empty folder it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I just going to create simply, we're just going to create import destructured component. Okay, from component, and I just going to say class app extends from the component, and I just going to create a constructor. This is going to have a super. Okay, and here a state, that is right now nothing here, and here I just going to say render, and what I want to render, I just want to return and h1, that is going to be hello world, like this, and let me save it. Now let's go here and check whether you are in my app and change your. I'm going to use my git bash. Let us open git bash. Let us delete this one, and here I just going to say npm start. Okay, so it is going to start our application, and we will get our application in here. We will receive, it is initializing our server. Let me wait for our server to get initialized. Okay, now right now our server is set. Okay, so right now it just started. So we're having an error here in the server because we have removed it, right? So that is why we're having an error here. Okay, so what we're going to do is, what is the error that we are getting is imported some of the file index.js. It is giving us an error. So let us go for this index.js. And what is the file that we don't want, what we have imported here? Well, we don't export this app component, so let us export it. Export default, and now you can able to see the hello world here. Okay, so we're going to create an application with the help of what? With the help of an API. So what is actually an API is? So an API is like transferring data from one application to another application. So let us, everything in this world, like whatever we are creating in the software, it is comes under API only. So what does that mean? So simply a data, like someone has some data, so I can get the data by paying some amount or by paying my subscription, and I can get the data and I can use it. So simply what, how can I we understand this? If you want to add and weather notification, okay, if you want to add and weather notification and weather app, okay, so what you need to do, you need to know, you need to have all the data about weathers, right? So this is it not our work, right? So collecting the data of weather and storing it, it is not the developer work. The developer works to you just want to do the things, right? So just want to create an application, that's what it need. Then who is collecting those information and structuring it and giving those things? Well, the data provider who are collecting those data, they will provide it and they will give an API for us. So with the help of this API, I can able to access their server and I can able to get the data from them. Okay, so that's what we can able to do. So simply, for example, let us understand, if you want to add a map, if you want to create an app like Zugi or an Zomato, right? Okay? So you are a startup company, whether we have any access to the world satellites and we having access to the geolocation and everything? Actually no, right? So what we can do, well, we can approach Google and we can buy and the API, Google Map API from the Google, okay, by paying some subscription. So we can just get all the data, and with the help of this data I can able to create, okay, what we can do, the already that with the help of the data the application is created. Okay, with the help of that, what I can do is I can just, on top of it I can build some extra things. Okay, that's what I can do it. So that is what API is, transferring a data from one application to another application. Hello. Okay, that's what it is. So today what we're going to see, today we are not going to discuss about some of the paid APIs. We're going to go for some free APIs for practicing purpose. I just go for an API called fake store. Okay, so it is gives an information about some of the products that are available. It's like gives an like an e-commerce site. Okay, so it will give some data about e-commerce product. Okay, so I just going to copy this link. Well, this link is going to give an API for us. So let us click this docs, go for the docs, and you can able to see get all the products. This is the link that I want. An API should look like this only, like an URL. That's what it is. Okay, so now if I just paste this URL here, you can able to see what all are the data that is inside this API. So we have discussed about API in JavaScript classes also. Still, I'm telling, like, if you haven't watched JavaScript classes, have a look into it. Okay, so these all are the data that is inside it, and it is, you can notice that the data are stored in a format to JSON. You can see it is an array, and each and every item in an object, and you can able to see here is also a quotation is there, and whatever the value that we are having here is also quotation is there. What is this? So this is a format called JSON format. Okay, so the API is mostly we work with some lightweight data, so it will be in the JSON format, and we have some other format also. XML is also a format like that would be there. It depends upon the database where you are storing. So here we are having JSON format. So what I need to do is, well, I with the help of this one, I need to create an application. So how can I create it? So that's what we're going to see it. So now what I'm going to do, know how to set a state. So I just going to say create a state, this dot state, okay, this dot state is going to be an object, and here I just going to say store, okay, store, I just give an empty array, okay, it is going to be just an empty array, okay, it is going to be just an empty array. So now what here I just going to do is, and here we can add the styling part, style, okay, and I just going to say text align is going to be center, and we are getting this, and instead of hello world I just going to say my product, like this. And what I'm going to do here, I just going to wrap this with div, okay. So this is a div that is going to contain everything, okay. Okay, here it is going to be there, and here it is going to be there. And what I'm going to do is, right now it is just an empty array, so I just going to give the name equal to, I just going to create an object, okay. I just say brand, a brand equal to, we can say like this, okay. And then we create another object. Yesterday we have did it, right, same thing but little bit different, okay. I just going to say AGO, like this, okay. Let me have something, and what I want to do, I just want to render what is having my state, I just want to render it here. So how can I do it? Well, this is a JavaScript code, so I just going to give an curly braces, and here what I going to do, here what I going to do, I just going to say this dot state dot store. So this is a one type that we can write, or we can destructure our state. How can we destructure? Here we can destructure it. Const, it is an object, and I just say what I want. I did want the store where from this dot state. I just want to destructure it. So here we destructured, and we are getting the store only. So the store is an array. I just say store. Let me give it as in plural, stores. Okay, stores. Okay, we are getting the stores like this, and here I just going to say map, okay, and here I just say store, each and every store, and I just what I want to do, I just want to return and another component that is going to be the card component, okay, or we can say product component. I just going to say product, going to close it, and I going to pass this one to the product component. So I just going to say products like this to store, okay. And remember that if I want to pass a store here, I just want to give a key to it, right now I'm not giving any key, but we need to give a key, okay. Otherwise what will happen means it will throw an error, we will discuss. So now what we will do in the component section, let me create our component, okay. So first component is going to be our product component. It is going to be product.jsx, okay. And in this product, let us create import react from react. We can destructure it to component, okay. And here I can say class going to be product, it is extends component, and here I just going to say constructor. Here we don't want any state, I just directly go for what it need to render. Well, it is render and return the component. So I just going to say here this dot console.log, what is this dot props, okay. So this we're going to do, and here I just going to return just simply the item I just simply like what we can do, I can just say hello. Okay, when it is loop throwing, every time it is going to print hello. And here I just want to export it. export default Export default product. Okay, like this. Then we save it, go for app.js and check it whether we imported or not. Okay, I just going to say import product from the product component. Now let me save it. You can see two times we are getting this hello. And if I go here and inspect it in the console, we will get an error because we don't pass this unique key. So that is why it is giving an error. So for giving an unique key, right now this brand is also unique, so I just going to pass the key as brand, but mostly it is an id. Okay, so I just say store dot brand. Now if I refresh, you can see the error is gone. Don't care about this manifest JSON. It will be because somewhere other things. You can see in this console we are getting this product, and this product is an object and we can able to destructure it. So what I'm going to say, this dot it is going to be products. Okay, now I'm looking for products only. You can see here. So here we can destructure it. Cut it here. Const, what we want inside this object is brand, and here I just going to see this equal to this dot products. Okay, and here we can use this brand. What is the brand? It is going to be brand name. Okay, and it is going to show here. You can see we are getting this brand. Okay, so this is what here it is. So this is normally we will render it. Now what I want, I have an api. In this api, whatever the list I'm having, I need to render it in my application. Okay, so that's what I need to do. So how can we do it? How can we do this? So for that, what I want to do, we need to update, we need to change this state to that one. So what kind of function I'm going to use is, so initially right now we have this array, right? So inside this, instead of doing this one, I just going to give an empty array. Okay, doing these things, I just going to give an empty array. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I save it. We will get error in our console because we are fetching for brand and we are working with, right? So we remove those things. What are the things? We remove this one, and we remove this product, and we remove just simply hi, hi, and we comment off this one. And now okay, it is an empty array, so that is why we don't get anything. So what I'm going to do is, I just going to add a loading state. If the array is empty, then it need to show like loading. Okay, so that's what it need to show. So what can I do now? I can add an if else class here. Okay, inside this I can add an if else class. Okay, I just going to say if the stores dot length, okay, is less than, is what we can say is equal to, double equal to 0. Okay, if it is the length is equal to 0, then what I want to do, I just want to write this. Cut this one right now. Okay, and we cut here. We will write it. What I want to write it, I just want to pause here and h1. You remove this one, and I just could simply say if the stores dot length is triple equal to 0. Okay, so then we need to write in h1. Okay, and here I just want to say loading. Okay, so there is an error is that in some place. We need to find out why the error is coming. Okay, I just want to say loading. So where the error is coming, we changed this one, and it is inside the div only, right? Yeah, it is inside this div. Sorry. else. Okay, do one thing. We will directly write with the ternary operator. Instead of this, I just going to stores dot length is triple equal to 0. Then you need to do something. What you need to do, you need to render a component called h1 component. And here I just going to say it is going to be loading. Okay. Else, what you want to do, I just want to loop through this array. If it is not an empty array, then I want to loop through this. So what we have faced this one, map through it, and we need to loop through this one. Okay, so this is what we need to do it. Okay, simply I can write like this. Okay, now if we save it, we will get this loading. Okay, so let me see loading like this. So right now it is loading. So now what I want to do, once it is rendered, now what I want to do is I just want to update my state, this empty array, to this API. So how can I do it? So for that we have a method, a lifecycle component. We have a lifecycle component that is called component did mount. So what this component did mount will do means, as soon as this renders the thing, okay? So as soon as this renders the thing, it will renders, once it is rendered it in the display, this component did mount method will be executed. So how can we do it? I just say component. We have so much of lifecycle method. I'm giving an example. Component did method. And what is the specialty of this component did method? So it is going to render things. Okay, it is going to render. Once it is rendered, initially it is rendered, the component did mount method will execute. Okay, once the rendering is completed, this component did mount method, it is going to render the things. Okay, so now what here we're going to do, we're going to use the fetch API and we're going to get everything. So I'm just going to say fetch. Okay, what we need to fetch, we need to fetch the URL that we want to fetch. Okay, and here I just give the URL and I'm going to say .10. Once you are fetched it, whatever the response that you are getting, I just want to parse down all the values. So this is a JavaScript code where we will work with asynchronous. We will do it. So simply what we are doing is we are fetching all the data with the help of this fetch API, and I'm converting the JSON format to a normal format. Okay, by using rest.json method. Okay, with the help of this, we are converting that one. Okay, so help of that, and once it is converted, I just want to store whatever the object, that the array object that we are getting, I just want to store it inside another variable that is going to be the data variable. Okay, and here I just going to say console.log data. What is the data that I am getting? Okay, it is a JavaScript code. We're just using the fetch keyword and converting our JSON format to a normal array object, and I just want to get it in my console. Let us go here and right click it. You can able to see this console. We are getting a 20 array. So to remember, to know like how this component did mount to this executing is, I just in constructor method, I just going to say console.log. I just mention it as 1, and in this console, in after rendering here, I just going to mention it as 2. Okay, and here I just going to mention it as 3. Okay, now you can understand how the rendering is happened. So if I save it, you can see 1, 2, 3, and we are getting this. So what is happening? So 1, the constructor method is running. 2, this render method rendering all the things, and 3, this component method is running. So the component, what is the specialty of component did mount? It will renders once the rendering is completed, it is going to render it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, have a data, instead of that is going to be an array. You can see we pass down and we are getting all the array that is in the server of another API. So we are getting it. So now what I want to do, I need to update this array to my state. How can I do it? Well, we know that how can we update our state? We can use this dot set state, right? You can use this dot set state, and here you can say directly, or you can give a callback function also. I just going to say directly to check it, stores dot data. Okay, so now what I going to happen? Let me see it in the console. What is going to happen? Okay, I just refresh it and I just 1, 2, and we are getting some error, right? And here what is happening? You just want to render 20 times the high is rendered. Here we are getting an key error. That means we don't pass any key error, that it will happening. So here I remove this one, console.log3, console.log3. Okay, I just clear it out and now I rendering it. You can see what we are getting: 1, 2, 3, again 2. So what is happening here? So well, first initially the constructor method is giving the initial state, that is going to be my store, and once it's rendered, this render method is going to render. So we are getting 2 and it is going to render the things, and that is done. This component did mount is going to be rendered, right? So because this is going to, once it is rendering is completed, it is going to complete its work. So now it is completed, the 3 is completed, and here what I did at the end of the day, I just going to change the state of the component. So if I change the state of the component, what will happen? The render against render it, right? So the rendering is going to again render it. This component did mount renders only once when the initially the rendering is happened. Okay, so during that time only it is going to render it. Okay, so first one. So remember that what is the component did mount is do? The component did mount is going to render initially the rendering is done. Okay, once it is rendered, then it will render. Again it's not going to render it. That's one. Okay, so what will happen? This render, in the last day class we have discussed that when React renders, right? So whenever the component is set, the state is state, the React will renders, and whenever we are changing the state, the component is going to be re-rendered, right? So here we are changing the state. So once the state is changed, so the rendering again happens. So this time this will not be not going to execute it, because it will render only once during the time of initial rendering. Okay, so that's what happening. So now what we're going to do, I just going to pass the store. I just going to say product whatever I'm getting. So here we given condition. I'm checking that stores dot length is equal to 0. Then you need to say loading. Okay, if it is not equal to 0, then you need to map through it and you need to fetch each and every object and you need to send that object to object as products to a component called product component. So now what I'm going to do here, I just going to props it, and here I just want to say console.log this dot products first of all, to check what all are the products and what all are the words that I want to destructure. Just going to say console.log this dot props dot products like this, and I just going to comment it off. And if I save it, you can see these all are the object that we want. And now I need to tell what is the thing that I want to destructure. Well, I need this title, price. Let us click this one thing. Category is there, description is there, image is there, so many things is there. So what are the things I want is I need the title. Okay, and second one is going to be the image. Okay, third one is going to be the price. Okay, and the fourth one, we don't want the rating. Let me add some category like this. Okay, so we will destructure all the things. So now what we can do, we have this much of information, and here still we are getting this error. You can notice that we will get this key error, right? We need to get rid of it. So we need to give a unique thing. So here you can see we have ID, that is the unique thing to identify here. So I'm just going to say keys is going to be store.id. Now if I save it, clear it, and you can see it. Loading will happen, and once it is set, it will get it. Not keys, it is going to be key. Now I just clear, run it. Okay. What is happening? What is happening? Key prop, not stores.id, it is store ID. Sorry. Now you will not get this error. You can see loading and we are not getting this error. Now, instead of typing hi for every time, I just going to change it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I just going to create a div. Okay. And let us cut this one, paste it here. And what we going to get? Well, in here, I just going to get an image tag. Okay. And this image tag, what I want to render, it is going to be the image that I am getting from. Okay, first one. And here I just going to say image product like this. Okay, And in this h1 I just want to render what is the next one I want to render. It is going to be my title. Okay, and in the paragraph tag you going to have price. Okay, and let us add another paragraph tag. That's what category, like this. Now if I save it, now you can see what we are getting. Product image is there, title is there, and category is there, price is there. Image, title, price, for all the things will be there. So only one task is here we need to do is, okay, so what is the task that we need to do it here is, we need to give a class name. It's going to be container. Okay, container. I'm just giving here as a container. Let us go for app.css, and let us add this app.css here, import it here. I'm just going to say import dot slash app.css, and I just going to save this. Let's go for app.css, and I just going to say body. Okay, background color, let us make this aqua right now to check it. Okay, it is changing, and now I just going to go for some deep shaded. This is our color, and now what I going to say, I just going to say container. Okay, and here I can say that first image we will convert the container inside. If I have image, I just want to set the height equal to 120 pixel and width equal to 120 pixel. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, so now let us go here, and you can see whatever the things that we are getting, and here we can say that what we can do, in app.js we have this file, right? So where we are getting, here we are getting this product, right? So here only we are getting this product, and what I'm going to do here, I just going to store this product inside a div. Okay, and inside the div, it is each and every time the product is going to be, all the products are going to be rendered, and here it is going to be class name. It is going to be the container body. Container body. Okay, let us copy this one, go for product.js, where product css, and here I just going to say the background color. You can see each and every time what we are getting. So this is going to be our background color, and instead we do one thing here. Instead of adding this container here, this div here, we will add after this one. Cut down, add this one here, cut it down. After you completed this return, okay, after you completed this return keyword, where here is the div, here is the div, right? Let me add it here. Okay, there is I changed something. Let me check. Stores dot map stores, it is going to return product store dot id and store dot key, and it is getting closed. I just write again, no problem. Okay, so here I just going to say return. It is again in JavaScript code. Let me keep this. Okay, I'm just going to close this div here, and again this is a JavaScript code, so I'm just going to wrap inside this one. Okay, now you are getting this. If I save it, where we are getting this error, we are getting somewhere we have it changed map method, it is closed where before the div closing div. Okay, here slash div like this. And now you are getting the full length. Okay, we are getting it. So now what I'm going to do, let us go for this app.css. App.css, instead of black color, I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to say display, it is going to be flex, and I just say flex direction, it is going to be column. Okay, and justify content, it is going to be here we don't want to do this. I just remove this one, and here I just going to say what we can do the same thing. All place it. Okay, and I just remove this one. Okay, we are getting like this. Okay, here I remove here, and here I just going to say display content and everything, and width is going to be flex wrap. We can use flex wrap to no wrap, not no wrap, wrap to wrap. Okay, and now here what we can do, we can set the height and width of an element, and I just going to say width is equal to 30% of each and everything. So should have 30% width. Okay, like this we need to have, and here I just going to say, now I remove this one. Now we will get here like this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say height. Height is equal to 300 pixel. Let me make this as 300 pixel or 420 like this. Okay, and here I just give a border of 1 pixel solid black. We'll quick finish it very quick, no problem. Okay, and I just going to say I just going to say margin equal to 2 pixel all the side. Okay, we are getting this margin, and now you can wrap it here. I just want to say text align, it is going to be center, and okay, it is an image. Okay, and I just what we need to do here inside this container, it is going to be display flex. Okay, and flex direction is equal to column, and here we can say the align items is equal to center like this, and here we can make this border radius equal to 112 pixel like this. Fine, and give a padding, adding top right like 8 pixel. Fine, even more fine, and dot container dot h1. What is the h1 that we are having? This is going to be the heading. I just going to say font family. I just want to say this is going to be a robot. I just want to say this is going to be time to moment like this, and here I just going to say sorry for that. Okay, let me show you this one, and here I just going to say the font size. Font size is equal to, I just say 13 pixel. Let make this to 26, 22 like this. Okay, and let us tell that text align is going to be center like this. Okay, fine, and I just going to say pricing and everything same, it will be there. Instead of font family, I'm adding here, cut it down, add it in the body. Okay, now everything is get changed. Okay, so that's all, that's it, that's what I want to do. I don't want to do any extra things for styling. I just go for 400 pixel. Okay, like this. I just want to give the padding adding only 10 pixel for each and every side. Okay, so and what I want to do for height, let me minimize this one. Now we are getting the proper height, and here I just going to say border radius is going to be again 12 pixel. Okay, and let me view it in the full screen. So this is our full screen, our application, it's in full screen. So do one thing, why instead of padding we can go for 8. Now it will be there, and morphing. Okay, now it is there, and instead of this I can make it as 26, much more clear, and let us make the margin as 20. And now let us do only one thing to ease it. Box shadow. Box shadow 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 8 pixel. Let us give the color blue. This is fine. Okay, that's it. They are completed, and you can see that the entire thing is aligned somewhere. I just want to say justify content. It is going to be sent. Now let us align it, and we have created it. And we getting any error? We are getting this error old, I think so. So now if I reload it, initially it shows loading, and then it will reload all the page for us. Once it is set, it will shows all the page for us. You can see loading, and once it is set, it will show all the page for us. And this error is just an extension error, you don't want to worry about that. And now here you can see all of us. Okay, so it takes some time to load the images. Okay, so because it is not because our fault, the server, because it is a free server, right? So it will be maintained a little bit later, that's what only. Okay, so some of the pixels are damaged and like that, it will be there. So here we have created our application. So now what I'm going to do, I just do another thing, copy this one, paste this here inside this image also, and give some like this. That's it. It look like some 3D bulged thing. Okay. Now we can able to see this. Everything. This is our application. So how can I do some additional functionality to my application? How can we achieve some additional function? Let me do one thing. Okay. So let me do one thing. I just going to say uh, this is fine. We you can see that some overlapping is there, right? So this is because we don't because this some of the titles are big and some of the titles are very less. That is because of it. And if you add some good CSS instead of pixel, we use some rem categories, and we use some good CSS, and these issues will be created. This is an user interface issues only. Okay. So now the only thing is how this API is rendered. So that's what matter it is. So how the API is rendered. So we have an initial stage, an empty array, and we are checking it. If the array is empty, show me loading. Instead of this, you can create a loading code also, like some loading functionality, you can add it. And here I'm adding that if it is not, then I need to render it. Right now it is going to be an empty, so it is not going to do that. And then this component did mode is going to be executed. So once the render, initially the render has happened, this method is going to attach that. So here we are fetching everything, and we are showing that this dot state, and we are attaching it. And here what we can do, we can use a callback function, like a function we can give, and secondary callback also. If you like to give, you can give it, or you can directly go for it. Once it is done, what we are doing, that we are updating the state, and we are doing this. And here I'm asking for if it is not empty. So right now it is not an empty because the state is updated. So it is going to render again. So it is check for again whether the length is equal to 0. So here in terms it is false. So this component is going to be executed. And here inside a div, I just created, I render each and every component. I centered each and everything to a separate component. That is going to be the product component. And in this product component, we are destructuring each and every value from the props, and we are using it here. And we created this application with the help of this product application. Okay. So this is what class-based component. Okay, so this is how you need to achieve this one. Good evening, brother. Great. Okay, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Right. If you have any doubts, you can ask here. Okay, you can ask me here. Okay, so this is class-based component, and this lifecycle component. A life cycle component, it is going to be the component did mount. It is, we have so much of things. We have component did update, and we have component did like this. We have around 4 things. Like I can show it here. If I write component, you can see component did catch, update, unmount, and did mount. So did mount, it will be add something when renderings happen. And update is some updation has happened. You updated something, and you can render this one. And we have the unmount to delete something, and I cast the method to cast something like that. We have so much of method is there, and we can use it. Okay, so this is a basics only. Okay, so class based component, this is basics only. This life cycle component, we have so much of things. We have a look into it, you can understand it. What okay, this will execute once this happen, and this will execute only once after this happen. Like that, you can able to execute it. Okay, so this is what you need to give focus to it. Okay. Okay, so the next one is going to be function-based component. How can we, let me see about function-based component and hooks. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, we have written so much of things here. So I just going to create, okay, I just going to create in not inside this component, inside this src, I just going to create app1.base. Okay, and here I just going to give an introduction about hooks and function based states, about hooks and states only. So what I going to do, I going to import react from react here, and let me create a destructured function. I just going to say const, and this is going to be app1. This is going to be a function. Okay, and I just want to return what I want to return. Well, I want to return a div that is going to contain an h1. Okay, and here I can say, yesterday we have discussed about the count and what is this, right? And like this. So here we can going to see how can we set this count. Okay, so what I just going to say, export default, export default app1 here. Okay, and here right now, this is a, let us see this. This is our class based component application. We don't want this one right now. So I just go and let me do one thing. I have it in CSS. What I'm going to do in our index.html, instead of this app, okay, I just remove this one and I'm going to render app1. Okay, this is what we need. Okay, and if I save it, now let us go. You can see we are getting this count. So how can I set an state in the function based component? So here we have for setting the state, we have something called as set state. We can use the set state method to not set state, like, sorry. So we have the hooks. Okay, so with the help of that we can able to set it. Okay, so here we can get this hook, like use construct, you can see use effect, and like this you can see use state, and this is one of the hook. It is used to set the state for our thing. Okay, here what is this, we need to know about what is this, right? So I just going to call, what is this, console.log, what is this use state is. Okay, I just simply calling it, it is a function. Okay, nothing but it is a function. Okay, now I just go for my react, and let us copy and link it, and you can able to see we will get a function. Use state is a function, and it is going to return something, right? So let's see what it is going to return. Let me execute this function and we will take it, what it is going to return. And if I run it, you can see it is returning an array. You can see it is returning two things. One is an array, and that having undefined, and another one is again a function. Okay, what is this, this use state is returning? Well, the use state is returning two things. Okay, it is a returning array, and inside this array it has two items. One is the initial data of it. So initially we will give an empty array, right? So the initial data of it, you can give it here. I can give 0. This is my initial state. If I save it, you can see instead of undefined we will get this 0. You can see we are getting this 0. And what is this one? What is the second one? Well, the second one is a function that is to update this state. So in class based component, we will have this dot state, and we will give the state, and we have set state, a default function to set the state, right? Same like that, here we have use state. We can give whatever the initial data, and it will be given, it will be give that, and it has some default function, and it is in an array where with the help of it we can able to update this one. So now what I can do, I can destructure it. How? Const. What is the useState function is going to return? useState function, what it is going to return, I just going to tell here. What is it is returning? Well, it is returning two things, an array, right? So I just going to say I need to get it. I just want to say it is count, that value, initial value, and second one is set count. So what is this? That is going to be a function that is used to set this count. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, so you can see it in the block also. You can able to see. Yesterday I show you a block, right? So the TWD block. Okay, if I click it, you can see the initially the dayfile what they have sent. useState hook is a function component, and with the help of this useState hook I can able to set the function component. You can see for function component we need to use this useState hook. Okay, so that's what we are using it. So now what we're going to do, with the help of it we can set that. Now here, let us go here, and here how can we access it? Simply it's a JavaScript code, and I just going to say give a dash. What is count? What is count? Like this. You can ask it. It is 0. You can see we can able to set the state and we can able to access it. If I say 1, you can see they are getting this 1. Okay, likewise we can use this component to set the thing. And what is this one? This is a function that is used to set the component. Like we can use the function to set the component of it. Okay, so this is used to set it. Okay, so for that I will show that block itself. So yesterday we have this dot set state, and we will use a callback function and we will update it, right? Same like that here we can able to update this one. So how can we update it? I will show you the example. Scroll down. Okay, just a minute. It is in function. Okay. Let us show you the example. And where you can access this block is just type the webdev.tech and go for the first website. You can see it. Type ReactJS, and here click beginner and scroll down. You can see from day 1 to around day 18 the blocks are structured. Okay, so you can select any one of the block and like start from 1 to 18 you can start it. Okay, so everything is detailedly structured, and each and every concept that we have learned it will be there, and most of what we have learned it is fine. We can use that only. And here how we can able to work with props and state and everything, the restructuring concept it will be there. And what we need, event handling, this is what we need it. So how can we handle it? You can able to see a button is clicked. Simply they have said if someone clicks this, I just say instead of this dot we will pass a function, and we need to say this dot event handling, and here we can just say the function and it will run it. So let me see how it will be work. Simply we going to create a button here, button, and this button is going to say click. Okay, and here it is going to be on click. Someone click it. Okay, so then what you need to do, you need to run a function called handle event. There's a function. Okay, so this handle event, and you can see here this dot handle event is going to be this very class based component. So it is a class based component. For function based component, where function event handling in the function based component. In function based component we just want to call it, and here we don't invoke this function, but here we will invoke this function. This here we will pass it and it will be invoke this function. And while we are passing this function, you need to invoke it. So here if you see detailedly, you can see that instead of event binding you can invoke it later by using the normal function, where here you can see we are invoking the function. But here we don't want to invoke it, we can just call it and we will create it. What is the function that I want to create? Here I just say handle event. This is going to be a function. This function, if someone clicks it, in this console.log say hi. Let's save it. Let us go for our application. What has happened? There is an error. It is saying app1.src compiled with the problem. Okay. What has happened? Okay. Oh, let's go event handling. Okay, we need to create. Okay, so I just forgot the function keyword. So in class base, you don't want to use the function keyword. Here you need to use it because classes, the methods are different, the functions are different. Okay, so now if you click it, you'll get this hack. So now what can I do is we can say return. Okay, set count. Okay, set the count to what is the value of the count plus 1. And here we will refresh to 0. And if we click, we are getting an error. What is the error? It is going to be set count. Okay, make sure checking the cases. If you click it, the count will be set. So now what we can do is we can give an empty array. Okay, and we can do the same method what we have achieved for the class based component, rendering things, passing into another detail and everything. And we have another hook that is going to be use effect hook. The use effect hook, it will be render once the component is returned. Okay, initially it will render. Okay, you can use the use effect hook and you can able to execute it. Okay, so with the help of that you can able to construct the same method that we have constructed. So this is how we will work with state. Okay, it is a basic only. This is what this hooks is. Okay, because in classes everything is there, we can just use it and we need to construct our application. And when it comes to function based component, some new concept will be there what all are not in functions, they will add it in the hooks. Okay, for state management we have hooks, and for this life cycle component we have hooks, and for maintaining the states we have another hooks. Like that we have so much of hooks is there, and they will update the hooks also. So this is how you need to work. And the use effect and sorry, this use state and use effect hook is the most commonly used hook of it. Okay, so this is how states are managed in function based component, and that is how states are managed in the class based component. Okay, so that's what it is. And we don't have time to create the same application with function based component, but that is fine. This is the same thing, we need to do it. The functionality are going to be same, but there we use their different syntax with the help of classes. Here we use a different syntax with the help of hooks. That's what the thing is. Okay, but functionality is going to be same. The JavaScript is going to be same, HTML is going to be same, everything is going to be same of it. Okay, so we will end the class with in our index.js. Instead of this we will go for app, go for app, go for app, and with our application that we have created, it is going to be app. This is the application that we have created with the help of class based component. And if you like to further continue with the same basic syntax, then what you can do, you can continue the same app with the function based component. How can you achieve this same application with function based component? Have a look into it. Okay, for blog website you can go for the webdev.tech. Okay, so it will be there and you can able to see each and every steps and you can able to achieve it. Okay, so this is what we or come up with, and with the help of it you can do anything. If you want to create an Amazon clone, only the HTML CSS is going to be changed, everything is going to be, the application is going to be same. With the help of this one you can create it. Okay, or your own e-commerce website, the same thing. So where the API will come from, the API will come from the backend. So the backend people create the API and they will provide to us what is the front end role of one React. What we need to do, we need to render everything and we need to display it here. Okay, so that's what we need to do it. Okay, any doubts you have, you can ask me now. Let I share the attendance form in the chat box. Please fill the day 4 attendance form for you. Okay, I will share you the attendance form. Fill the attendance form. You will get a participation certificate for 4 days of attending this workshop, and also you will get notified in the LinkedIn also. Okay, any doubts you can have, you can ask it and tell it in the chat box and give it your feedback. And if you really like the content, just give a like and subscribe to motivate this channel to grow much more better. Okay, just tell your feedbacks to improve ourselves. Okay, so this admin form is shared, you can check it. Okay, thank you. Love from Tamil Nadu. Thank you. So you can have this attendance form, just fill it, and once you fill this attendance form, just tell it in the chat box like filled. Okay, that will be great. Good evening. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. So make one video on GitHub. Sure, sure. It will be. I think no videos is there in our channel for GitHub. I think old on in old videos there is some videos taken by Nabidu Sir regarding GitHub. It will be quick, easy. Let me do. Okay, we will discuss and we will very soon. We will put a video about GitHub and how can you work with GitHub and everything. Okay, let me do this. Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, once you filled, just tell me filled because I'm going to end the form, like end the live. Okay, I think most of you filled that. Okay, so okay, thank you all. Thank you all. See you in the next React days. And one more thing is, coming. It is Friday, right? So coming Saturday. Just a minute. Okay, so the next week, 27 to 31. Okay, 27 to 31. The next week, the advanced React JS concept like state management, Redux, and those things will be taken by Nabidu Biswasa. Okay, so we can just have it and just work in it. Okay, bro, can you explain between SQL and MongoDB in React? Like it is good to go with MongoDB to work with React. Okay, instead of SQL, SQL you can go for it, but MongoDB is best pair compared to React. Okay, because the JSON format we have right now worked with, right? So it is a format that will store in databases. These kinds of format will be there. Okay, so JSON format in MongoDB, usually we have this JSON format. Okay, so if you use MongoDB, then you store some data in the databases, it will store it in a JSON format, and it is easy to convert those JSON format to an object. Okay, so that is like JavaScript objects and array, it is easy to convert. And first thing, and second one is these all comes under JavaScript. When you get into SQL, their format is a little bit different. They have XML, but SQL also good. It depends upon which application you're going to create. Okay, for example, if you are creating an e-commerce application, the relationship, if you are focusing more about the relationship between each and every table that you're going to create, it is go for SQL. It will be better. And if you want to create some table application like non-structured application, then you can go for MongoDB. But nowadays most of the works is handled by MongoDB, and React, it's mostly MongoDB. Okay, you can focus on MongoDB initially and just understand the basic commands in SQL, how we can use the CRUD application, how to build a CRUD application. That's fine, and then you can leave it. Okay, later that if you need it, you can go for it. Okay, so we have an alternative for, instead of MySQL, we have PostgreSQL and so much of things is there, and during that time you can use that and you can integrate it and you can use it. And for MySQL, you have in Nabidu Viswasar taken 4 days of workshop in how to use DynamoDB and how to use PostgreSQL and so much of things. It is already there. Just have a look at it in the video section. Just scroll down. It will be, I think, 2 months before it is taken. The workshop is. Have a look into that, and you will definitely get understand about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Thank you so much for attending this workshop. And if you have any doubt, you can contact us in the WhatsApp group. And I think most of you all in the WhatsApp group. If you are not in WhatsApp group, just connect with us in the LinkedIn, and either with Nabidu Biswa sir or Mosam sir or me. We will provide some of the WhatsApp link. You can join with us, and in the WhatsApp link, we will give some announcements and everything, free gifts and so much of things we will planning, and we will give it. Okay, you can attend that time very clearly, and also we will came to know whenever we are conducting the workshops and so much of things, you will came to know. Okay, so what's your WhatsApp group? Just a minute, I will share you a WhatsApp group. React 24, this is the last group we have created. Just a minute. Okay, you can use this WhatsApp group to join. Okay, so we have so much of groups, and every groups we will update what is our newly work, whatever new announcement that we are given, it will be that new announcement, it will be shared in the WhatsApp group. You can use it and you can join this group, and it is a group 24. You can join it and you can ask your doubts and that, and you can give your feedback also. And if you really like the video, just take a screenshot and share it in your LinkedIn or social media post and tag me and tag Nabidu Viswasar, and it we will definitely connect with you. Okay, so in LinkedIn. Okay, so thank you all, thank you so much. Bye. See you in the next slide.